Hey guys, so this video is going to be kind of interesting. We're going to talk a little bit about seconds, minor seconds and major seconds. Okay, and a lot of people, when you play, like when you introduce this and you talk about them, if you play them together at the same time, this is a minor second, or if you play even a major second, right? Minor seconds are half steps, major seconds are whole steps. If you play these just by themselves, it doesn't really sound very good. But in a musical context, you can make even this sound very, very musical. Okay, and so we're going to talk about this today a little bit. First of all, what is a second? So what a second refers to are notes that are right next to each other. So let's take C, for example. Okay, if I play it again, I'm playing in what's called unison. So if I had another piano next to me and I played C4 here and I played C4 there, that would be what we consider unison. Okay, when I move up and I hold that note and I move to the very next note, we call this a second, okay? Because it's literally 1, 2 notes away. We have unison, second, and if we kept going, we can keep going, thirds, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then eighth, or what we call an octave, oct meaning 8, right? And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and so on and so forth. Today we're just going to focus on that second, okay? Now, major second is always a whole step away. So if I have a C, the whole step would be a major second away. C to D, okay? So I could take any note. So let's say F sharp. 1 second above would be 1 whole step away. F sharp and G sharp. Another example, E. Now F is right next to it, so we need the F sharp to be a major second away. So it's literally 2 half steps away. Minor second, okay, is when we have the very next note. So if I was on C and I wanted to play a minor second, C, this is what we call a minor second. Just 1 note away, 1 half step away, okay? And we're going to experiment with both of these and understand that these can be musical too. They sound kind of not the greatest on their own, right? But let's make some sense of this. So we're going to use this, a standard chord progression in the key of C, but we're going to start on A minor. We're going to start on the 6th chord, okay? Let's take an A minor chord, A, C, and E. And what the progression we're going to do is we're going to go A minor, and then we're going to go to F major. Now hopefully you understand that I'm using inversions. If you're not familiar with inversions, I have plenty of other videos on those. Go check those out. Okay, next chord I'm going to go to is a C chord, C, E, and G, and then a G major chord. Okay, and how we're going to use these seconds, okay? We're going to use these seconds to kind of spice up what we're doing a little bit, okay? And in some music, you'll see it as written as add to, ADD, to, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to add the second above the pitch that's given, okay? So what we can do is instead of just playing like a C chord, we can add the second, and it gives it like a nice, kind of a little bit of a fuller feel, different sound, right? So let's go back to our A minor chord. Our second would be the note B, so we're gonna add that into our playing. Okay, next chord was F. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the second, which is our G. Right? Next chord, C. We're going to add the second, which we already talked about was D. And then G, we're going to add A. So now, our normal progression without seconds. Okay, now let's add those seconds. Now, see how those minor seconds, all of a sudden, when you play them in context, they can actually have some beauty to them. They're actually really nice adding into it. So, what else can we do to this progression to kind of add to these seconds? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that G chord. Okay, we're going to take that last chord, okay, and we're going to add what's called is sus4, a suspend 4 chord. Okay, it's a suspension chord in which instead of having G, B, and D, we're going to kind of suspend that third to the 4th, okay, and play G, C, and D, okay. But what we're going to do is we are going to resolve it to B, but as we resolve, we are not going to let go of that C. And I want you to hear what that's going to sound like. So, and we're going to keep B and C held down through this progression. So take a listen to this. I'll play all the add twos, and I'll suspend the G and then resolve it. But the first time, I'm not going to hold down C. So take a listen to this. Okay, so I resolved it, but you don't hear that C in it. So now listen to it when I play the C and I resolve it, but I hold on to that half step relation, to that minor second relationship. Can you hear all those? And there's actually a couple songs in the pop repertoire that actually do this. It does resolve, but they hold that 4, kind of like an add 4 chord. Let's listen to that again. And so we have that same thing happening in A minor. And now I'm changing between G at 2, resolving it. And so you can really experiment with these seconds, you know, by themselves. I mean, nobody really cares to listen to that sound, right? But in context is where you get the beauty. Okay, I think at the beginning a lot of students don't hear that is beauty, right? But when you put it into like a nice flowing progression, and this progression, this A minor to F, C, G is a very, very common chord progression in pop music today. So you can take any song that you might know that uses this progression and try to add it into there and see if it kind of spices it up. Not all music will allow for this sound, but you can experiment with this. And I think it's a lot of fun. You just add it to any progression that you know and see if you can throw in those seconds and really spice things up, okay? I hope you liked this video. If you did, please make sure you subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you get alerted when I do release another video, okay? And if you can do me a nice little favor and tickle that little like button until it turns blue, it really helps my channel out greatly, okay? And you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.